Hey, everybody. I'm going to wait a little bit. Thanks, everybody, for coming in. This is kind of impromptu because, y'all, I have so much going on right now. I got so much to do. I got so much stuff to do. It's just not even funny. And I wanted to just take a minute to come on here and talk about some of the things that I've been wanting to talk about, some of the articles that people have been sending me. Typically, you guys know I will be doing some just regular standalone content, but I don't really have time for the editing because if I had to do that, then you guys probably wouldn't get any content, probably not until tomorrow or over the weekend, because I just have a whole bunch to do at the end of the day. And I already know that whatever I have to do is not y'all's burden. So I still wanted to come on here and talk about these, just talk about these topics because a lot has been sent to me. JDRP podcast said Robin Dixon and Juan. It sounds like they should have been gotten a divorce. In fact, they shouldn't have been married to begin with. It sounds like, and listen, I don't even watch Real Housewives of Potomac. I do watch the reviews on Rodney the Voices channel. I do watch his reviews, but I don't actually watch the show. One of my sisters actually was like, "Why are you listening to reviews and you don't watch the show?" But sometimes all I need to do is watch the reviews. And so it sounds like Robin Dixon shouldn't have been married to that bandit to begin with. But then, look, she already knew about the cheating. She knew about his felonious ways. It is what it is. A lot of women do know. Drew Sidora knew too. Drew Sidora knew that she was dealing with a bandit and she tried to pretend like she was not. So, I mean, listen, and I don't really want to trigger the marriage obsessed people. I don't really care if I trigger them because the truth is the truth. It doesn't really matter. And typically when you're talking about a certain topic and people get triggered by it, it's because they want to live in a fantasy. They don't want to really live in reality. And that's basically a lot of married women, specifically a lot of married Black women, because I'll say it again, and I've said it before. For most Black women who get married, and this is the vast majority of them, over 90%, I would say, for most Black women, marriage is the only thing that can make them feel validated or accepted by a man. It is the only thing that is going to give them a false sense of validation and acceptance. A lot of them don't really care about the quality of the marriage. They don't go into the marriage with any standards, expectations, and boundaries. They will accept the man cheating. They'll say that, oh, he's not perfect and God's working on their marriage, when in the reality, they just want the false sense of male validation and acceptance. That's all they want. That's really all they want. And that's why you'll have certain ones who will rush straight to the internet to brag, because at the end of the day, either they want your acceptance because they feel like they have a badge of honor, or they're showing you that they were able to live up to the standards that society set for them. And they generally don't like women who deviate from that. Like if you have women who live their life to the beat of their own drum and don't think that they have to live their life in accordance to the standards that society set, marriage obsessed Black women don't like that, because then who are they going to flex on? These women who are obsessed with marriage, they have to be able to flex. So they don't like women who are like, oh, well, marriage is really not the be all end all. They don't really like you breaking down marriage data and shattering their false illusion. They don't really like that, because the marriage is supposed to allow them to flex and try to elevate themselves over Black women, because they're not going to go flex to other races of women, because other races of women have more opportunities to get married than they do. And other races of women benefit more from marriage than Black women do. These are just facts. So you're not going to really see a Black woman flexing her ability to get married towards another race of women. She only wants to do that to Black women. And so typically when you have someone like me telling the truth about marriage, you're going to get a whole lot of trolling. You'll get comments like, oh, you're just bitter and jealous. I think you're mad because you can't get married. girl, go ahead. Like, for real. And I just be thinking, like, if you don't get your ass out of here, more, listen, more and more women are opting out of marriage. Now, I get that Black women are late to the party because Black women have always experienced marriage differently than every other group of women. So Black women, largely when it comes to marriage, they are late to the party. There is never a time, and Black women can sit up here and talk about, oh, well, why get benefits? They get alimony, they get this, that, and the third. Okay, well, the data says you walking away without a dime to your name after that struggle bandit done took you for everything. The only thing you walking away from in those marriages is bad health, poverty, and a bunch of kids that you can't afford to take care of on your own. That's what the data says that you are getting. That is what the data shows you're walking away from marriage with, by and large. And it does not matter whether you're a wealthy Black woman or a regular everyday Black woman, you are walking away and have been walking away from your marriages with nothing but heartache and the remnants of dust. That's what you're walking away with. But what else would Black women have in a society that, and I wouldn't venture to say it is really society. The reason why Black women value marriage or pretend to is because these bandits told them that if they would just get married, they will stay and take care of their kids and they might provide for them and they might protect them. Mind you, bandits ain't never done that for no Black woman, even when she was married. So Black women want to get married because of what bandits are telling them they will do in a marriage. And mind you, a bandit ain't gonna even live like he's married. He's not even gonna live like he's married when he get married. He's not. But they still pursue it because they have to have something to brag about. And I'm just like, girl, them marriages ain't nothing to brag about. Drew Sidora was one of those ones who like to brag about her marriage and weaponize it in the face of other Black women. And I told y'all, I said this in my content, and I also said it when Storm was talking about this, when Storm Monroe went live. The women who brag about their marriages and weaponize them against other women, just know they got the most raggedy, abusive, unhappy marriages that you would ever want to witness. Please believe it. Please do believe that the women who brag about their marriage the most has the most raggedy marriage. Just understand that they do. Not only do they have the most raggedy marriage, but they have the least amount of marriage security too. Their husband is likely somebody else's boyfriend. He ain't in the home taking care of them kids. He ain't doing nothing. He living his life as a single man. And a lot of these bandits know that they can make a, when a Black man gets married to a Black woman, he is able to have a financial benefit. He gets to upgrade his status to being in the middle class, where he would not be if it weren't for his Black wife. And he gets to live the life of a single man. That is what he gets to do. But because these bandits despise Black women so much, even though they greatly benefit from being married to Black women, they still don't want to marry him. They still don't. And that's why you have these Black women who are run around weaponizing their marriage, acting like it's an elite club to be in when really it's not, because most bandits will not marry Black women. They won't. Most bandits don't value marriage, even though it benefits them more than any other group of men on the face of the planet, statistically. Statistically, there is no other group of men who benefit more from marriage than Black men. And I want y'all to go do the research on that. Add to that, all of the data, since as long as I can trace back, all of the data have said that Black men in a marriage with Black women, they benefit more than the woman does. Black men in their marriages, they benefit more than Black women do. Black women receive nearly nothing from being married to Black men. These are facts. When you put these facts out, you will have these low self-esteem, basic, regular, never got attention a day in their life as bitches, whining, crying, and complaining all over the internet. You'll just have them doing that. Just as basic as ever. Never really was a standout person, was always just like, oh, nah, whatever. So then they'll create profiles online. They'll get attention the first time they've ever got attention, but they're only getting it from equally as basic, nothing as bitches as they are. Once they get a little bit of attention, they start acting like they feeling themselves. And it's like, girl, like, stop it. Then they'll get married and weaponize it. And don't let them get in front of a TV screen. Don't let a woman who spent her whole entire life being basic, don't let her get in front of a TV. And she married. I think that's how Letitia Scott on Love and Marriage Huntsville spent her entire life. Letitia Scott spent her entire life being basic. And this is not to insult her. It just is what it is. Because a lot of these women, even when they do get married and they see women who are seen at a higher quality, like how Letitia sits up there and acts towards Melody, that is the pathology of a basic chick. She's been basic her entire life. Ain't nobody ever really paid no attention to her. Ain't nobody ever made her feel like she was anything other than basic. Then she got abandoned to marry her. She's the single mother. She, the married single mother, has said it several times. Literally, Letitia Scott has said multiple times, I feel like I am a single mother despite the fact that I am married. Where is the provider and the father for the children? Marceau doesn't even refer to his own children as his children. He refers to them as Letitia's kids, as if she already had them kids when he entered into the marriage. Last I checked, Marceau, those are your kids. You married Letitia because you had impregnated her with your child within a couple months of meeting her, according to Letitia. So Letitia had been basic her whole entire life. She was able to marry a bandit. Somebody put her on a TV screen, and now she's acting like she ain't basic, although she got the most raggedy marriage that you could ever hear about. And the reason she got the most raggedy marriage is because she keeps saying she feels like a single mom within her marriage. She runs the business. She does everything. Marceau benefits from it. This is how a lot of Black women's marriages function, minus the money that Letitia is mostly out there making. Please, girl, bye. Letitia ain't basic to whose standards? To whose standards is Letitia not basic? Now, Letitia could upgrade herself and she could not be basic, but the way her mentality and her self-esteem is set up, she's always going to be basic. She's always going to. Ignoring what everybody see as the obvious, huge pink elephant in the room, and that's that Marceau has not only cheated on her once, but multiple times. Storm, you say she gives you Snapped vibes, and she probably would. There's a lot of basic women on Snapped. Snapped is full of stories of basic women who just snapped on a husband. But Letitia could upgrade herself. She is very book smart. She is very book smart. You can tell she's book smart because she was able to go in and turn that business from a business that made hundreds of thousands of dollars to a business that made millions of dollars. But Black women do that all day, every day. Black women do that. So, I mean, they're not saying that you're the most educated and the fastest growing groups of entrepreneurs for no reason. So this is something that I just feel like is built into Black women's DNA. Letitia Scott is still basic, and there's a lot of Letitia Scotts all over the place. All over the Black community, there is a bunch of Letitia Scott. The biggest thing Letitia Scott prides herself on is her ability to be married and stay married, even though her marriage is raggedy. Y'all hear this woman talking about this raggedy ass trifling marriage to this man who living like a single man. Every single episode you watch, Love and Marriage Huntsville, she is acting like her marriage is something to brag about, and it's just not. It's like, girl, the best thing you could ever do for yourself is divorce Marceau and go find you a man who is at least going to refer to his children as his children rather than acting like you came into the relationship with them kids on your own. If y'all have ever heard Marceau refer to his children as his children, please put a one in the chat box, because I was literally even watching old episodes from the beginning, and this dude keeps referring to his children as Letitia's kids, talking about she left me here with her kids. No, bruh, those are your children. He doesn't feel like they his kids, though. He don't want to go take them to get haircuts. He don't want to interact with them. He don't want to cook for him. He don't want to do nothing for him. I ain't never seen a man so detached from their children like Marceau. He will not even refer to his children as his own. That is a problem. But Black women will run around here talking about, oh, just get married. If we just get married, the Black community will be better. Why? Why do you believe that? Because a dumb bandit told you so he can have some leverage over you? So because a bandit done set up here and lied to you and told you you should pursue something that he controls, you decided to fall for yet another okie doke. Every single piece of data says that it is not in Black women's best interest to marry a Black man, and they still running around, waving around their ring and their marriage to the very Black men that data is saying that you're a fool for getting into a marriage to. You're not smart. This is not a smart business move. The reason I am calling it business is because, and this is a good segue to Drew Sidora and Ralph's marriage, they're not talking about love. They're talking about money and assets that Ralph does not want to give to Drew Sidora. I ain't heard love mentioned in this situation yet. They're in court being messy over money. So the worst business decision a Black woman can make is marrying her, getting tied to a Black man through marriage. That is the worst financial business decision you can make. Every single piece of data says it, yet Black women want to run around here. And I know y'all are listening to bandits, so don't try to act like you're not listening to bandits. I already know you got the concept that marriage will benefit the Black community from bandits. They don't have any other leverage. They don't provide anything else to you. The one thing they do control is marriage. So don't tell me that somebody else told you that it would be a benefit to you if you get married, or that it would fix something, because no, all of the data and report says no, it's absolutely not. Every single piece of data says that what you are saying marriage is going to do, it's not going to do. It just is what it is. So if you are over here promoting marriage as a fix to the Black community, it's because you got a bandit in your ear. I'm going to read over this divorce, be from Ralph and Drew Sidora. First of all, let me, Storm, you made a point. So let me tell y'all what I saw. First and foremost, I don't even think that Ralph really likes women. I really don't. If he does, he likes women just as much as he likes men. And Storm, you are absolutely right. Ralph made it abundantly clear that he does not even like Drew Sidora. Yet Drew Sidora was still bragging on a marriage to a man that everybody saw didn't even like her, didn't desire her, didn't want her. He kept taking trips. This dude done did first of all, she should have divorced him when he became a fan of Kevin Samuels, period. Ain't no way I'm married and my bandit of a husband takes on the mentality of an old, washed up, now worm food, twice marriage failed, struggle bandit, and I'm sitting there staying married. Nah, bro, you gonna go have to suck some kitten dick on your own. I ain't got time for it. I don't have time for it. You gonna have to go over there. Ain't no way I'm about to be married to you and you a fan publicly, a fan of Kevin Samuels. It ain't happening. But the reason why Drew Sidora stayed married to him is because she has the same mentality as the women who was calling into Worm Food's show. It doesn't matter how beautiful she is on the outside. Drew Sidora is really pretty on the outside. Princess Love is pretty on the outside. None of that matters if you have a basic mentality. And a lot of Black women, beautiful ones and all, are walking around with a basic bitch mentality. That's why you're running around waving your marriage license as a badge of honor. Waving when you're married to somebody else that can actually upgrade your situation. That's when you should be waving it as a badge of honor. When you're married to somebody that's going to benefit you, who can upgrade your life, then you should be sitting here bragging about your marriage. Why are you bragging about your marriage to a bandit? All we got to do is type in Pew Research to see that what, in about 2 years, you about to be broke. Your health is going to be declining. Every day that you stay in that marriage is some years shaved off your life expectancy. That bandit about to burden you with a bunch of kids that he ain't gonna take care of. He gonna live like he's single, and then he's gonna bounce. Or stress you out till you don't have a choice but to leave. That's what Drew Sidora went through. Drew Sidora let this man stress her out until she had no choice but to leave because Ralph was already out the door. The minute that Ralph said he didn't want to legally adopt her child, I was like, yeah, Ralph ain't gonna be around that long. He doesn't see a long-term future with her. The marriage certificate didn't change that. How many of y'all think Ralph was faithful in this marriage? If you thought that, Drew Sidora just burst your bubble and told you he was not. It does not matter whether she was married to him or not. Adultery was a part of her marriage. According to her, abuse was a part of her marriage. This is not a man that was going to upgrade her socioeconomic status. He is in court talking about how he does not want to pay her any money. Even though she was married to him, even though she bore his children, even though she will likely be the primary custodial parent of those children, he does not want to pay her any more money. Let's read over it, because y'all gonna stop bragging to me about these raggedy marriages. Or look, if y'all are gonna keep bragging about raggedy marriages, just prepare to get dragged at the end of the day. Because this is madness at this point. This is madness. It's lunacy. There ain't no way y'all there's nothing that you say about marriage, especially Black marriages, can be justified or validated by anything. You just can't. But listen, first of all, the pettiness is real. Ralph tried to get to the divorce court to file, but he didn't file. And it's like, Drew, you can file first all you want to. Ralph been out of that marriage. Ralph been done with that marriage. You the only person who couldn't see it. Listen, TMZ obtained her divorce petition, and the Gwinnett County Court stamped it as received on February 27th at 1:10 p.m. Meanwhile, Ralph's docs were stamped at 2:11 the same day. Interestingly, she lists their separation date as February 23rd, while he says it was February 19th. Look, he must be talking about February 19th of 2020. 3 years ago. I know he's talking about February 19th of 2020 because ever since I saw them on the show, I didn't see a man who wanted to be in a relationship with Drew Sidora. I saw a man who was single and she was married. It just is what it is. Both parties say that the marriage is irretrievably broken. Like I said, happily married people do not file for divorce. So you have a Black woman who ran to the court to file for divorce and said this marriage is irretrievably broken, meaning there's nothing you can do. Ain't no way to fix it. Do you think she just now realized that this was irretrievably broken, or did she know that? How long did she engage in the long suffering so she could say she have a husband, to other Black women, mind you? Because again, she's going to look ridiculous trying to sell marriage as a badge of honor to every other group of women who get married more than her. So Black women want to be able to flex on other Black women. We ain't gonna say women. They want to be able to flex specifically on a group of Black women that they want to feel better than. They want to create this elite separation of married versus non-married, when all reality says if you are a Black woman and you are married, you are disadvantaged more than the ones who are not. So you should never be trying to set yourself above a single woman. You are below a single woman. Statistically, if you are a married Black woman, you are beneath a single Black woman. This is what the data says. You are beneath it in mental health. You are beneath her in physical health. You are beneath her in money. Because while your income is set to decline, hers is set to keep building. She does not have to provide for a struggle bandit. You do. A struggle bandit is not sucking out her wealth. A struggle bandit is sucking out yours. Y'all need to stop trying to put yourself above single women. You are not above single women. You are beneath them. It just is what it is statistically. I'm not saying that you're actually beneath them as a person. The data is saying your social position as a married Black woman is beneath that of a single Black woman. And the only chance that you get of elevating and upgrading and becoming a non-basic bitch is to not legally tether yourself to a bandit. But you keep doing it. Like, how long do Black women got to learn these lessons? Drew Sidora's husband, Ralph Pittman, wants to end their nearly 10-year marriage, and he just made it official in court. She made it official in court. She made it official. She made it official because, and I really think Drew Sidora knew he was about to go for divorce. He may have told her. And I think Drew Sidora, because of how it looks, she wanted to go file first because she wanted to look like she had some strength, that she's this woman with self-esteem. No, Drew, if you were that type of woman, you wouldn't have made it to 10 years in a marriage to a man who has been cheating on you and abusing you the whole entire time. Stop going for the aesthetics. When Black women get married, they are doing it for aesthetics. Vanity. Drew is doing this, I believe, for vanity. She wants to make it appear that she is the type of woman that she is not. Drew Sidora, you are in a long-suffering marriage for 10 years. Cut it out. You filing for a divorce an hour before he does isn't going to make anybody feel like Ralph didn't create the demise of that relationship. Ralph broke up that marriage. You did not. You are going to stay because you are just on a show trying to weaponize your marriage against another Black woman. You are bragging about your trash marriage, only to now be headed to the divorce court for what you are citing as a serial adulterer, meaning the whole entire time that he was in this marriage, he acted like he was not. This is not uncommon for Black men. Just because they get married, girl, bye, you was married, he was single. It just is what it is. That's how he lived, apparently, according to her. He was single, you was married. And now Drew Sidora want to act like she was just this woman who ain't gonna tolerate this. Girl, bye, you tolerated for 10 years and you was gonna tolerate it for some more years as long as you can say, my husband. Drew Sidora probably had Ralph's name programmed in her phone under husband too. Like a lot of y'all be so desperate to say husband, you forget the name that they mama named him when he was born, and it was not husband. And yes, this is real life. There was a woman in Publix one day, literally had her phone light on hella bright, talking to her husband loudly in the store, showing her screen, because your screen is supposed to go into sleep mode after a certain amount of seconds. Hers wasn't doing that. And if you looked at her phone, it literally said husband. Her phone said husband. So she had her husband's name programmed in her phone as husband. So whenever she's talking about him, people will see that she's talking to her raggedy husband. I don't know anybody else who does this. I don't know anybody else who does this. Why are you acting like this man's mama named him husband at birth? You know damn well he didn't. The Real Housewives of Atlanta star was on the receiving end of divorce documents that were just filed this past week in Gwinnett County, Georgia, where Ralph laid out that he wants out of their split after living like a single man. He might as well be legally single. touching on how he wants to handle their 2 kids and their shared property. And I want y'all to understand something here in the wording here. In the docs obtained by TMZ, Ralph, who says he and Drew separated on February 19th, again, I maintain 2020, but he can say of this year, sure, whatever, makes it clear he wants joint physical and legal custody of their 7-year-old son, Makai, and 5-year-old daughter, Anaya. Drew had another kid from a prior relationship that, although supposedly raising, Ralph refused to legally adopt because he doesn't want the legal obligation of paying child support for it. He don't. The reason he did not want to legally become this boy's father, because there are legal obligations that are attached to it. Drew Sidora act like this was a hard concept for her to understand. It's really not. The reason he didn't legally adopt your son is because he did not want to have any legal obligations to your son, including child support. Because if you legally adopt somebody, in the eyes of the law, you are their legal father. Therefore, you are legally obligated to pay child support for that child in the event that the relationship ends. This is why he wants joint physical custody of these children. Ralph is not a man who wants to sit up, he doesn't seem to be one, and raise no damn kids half of the time. He wants to avoid child support. It says while he might not be fighting her on the kid front, he is pushing back on the notion of paying spousal support. Them kids don't matter, the money matters to him. He cares about the money. Even though he was married to this woman for 10 years, y'all gonna stop thinking marriage equal love. This bandit didn't love this woman, and he's showing it now. And in the demise of the relationship, he's showing how little he cared about her. He's saying, I ain't gonna fight you on them kids, but I will fight you on parting ways with my money. A lot of Black women walk away from these marriages with nothing, even if the man has it, i.e. Portia Williams and Cordell. Even though Cordell Stewart had money, Portia didn't get none of it. Portia walked away with zero money from a man who likely had millions. So y'all can sit up here and talk about alimony and all these things that these women get. You wish Black women were getting alimony. There are likely more Black women paying alimony than receiving it. But while he might not be fighting her on the kid front, he is pushing back on the notion of paying spousal support, noting Drew makes good enough money from her reality TV job. Although he says she's rolling in Bravo, though, Ralph claims she hasn't made any financial contributions to the household throughout a majority of their partnership. So you're supposed to be the alpha man in here, and you're talking about her financial contributions here? So this is a high-value 50-50 needing bandit. See, these bandits want you to be traditional, but they don't want to be traditional men. Traditionally, and especially if you're sitting there listening to that bandit Kevin Samuels talking about your job and your money don't matter, should you be sitting here now upon a divorce talking about she ain't paying no bills in a household, you're supposed to be the leader? Y'all are going to stop acting like you haven't. Just say you get married because you want to be able to say you married and that you got a husband to other Black women. At this point, it's quite clear. Y'all can miss me with the marriage. You live your life based on standards and timelines that somebody else made for you. I will live mine doing what I want to do. And I ain't about to marry no bandit and be sitting there with him trying to get me on some alimony. You must be out your damn mind. I will not be paying no bandit no alimony. It just ain't gonna happen. And the reason why you have more Black women paying alimony is because Black women have more money than these bandits do. In one breath, they're telling you that they're more oppressed than you, but then they're telling you that they have more money than you, which is a lie. If you have more money than Black women, then you are not oppressed. One part of oppression is economic deprivation. You cannot be a struggle bandit running around talking about we got more money, but we're more oppressed. Then you are not more oppressed, bandit. If you have more money, it is because you are less oppressed and you have male privilege that says you are going to get paid more than a woman just because you are a man. Stop letting them tell you that they have more money than you, but they're more oppressed. No, they're not. Neither of them are true, first of all. And even if it is true, Black men have marginally more money than Black women do. Let me check it really quickly because I feel like this is Zoom at this point. Hold on. Let me check my audio because the audio shouldn't be messing up, but let me just check it. I don't know, y'all. I don't see anything on my audio on here that's being, I don't know. Now, hopefully it shouldn't go out no more, but I don't know. Because I told y'all I have to get my microphone and it's in one of these boxes. I went through these boxes. I just got my stuff yesterday. I went through these boxes to get my microphone out. So we got to deal with what we're dealing with right now until I get these boxes and find my microphone. But y'all are going to stop bragging about these raggedy marriages. And y'all are going to stop letting these bandits tell you that they're more oppressed, but then say they have more money than you. How can it be possible that you got more money, but you're more oppressed? Yeah, no. Black men have marginally more money, like maybe a few dollars more than Black women do, despite the fact that they have male privilege. One group is oppressed by their race and gender, and one group is only oppressed based on their race. And y'all have fallen for the okie doke that Black men have a hard time navigating through society than you do. Based on what? Based on what? What would be causing Black men to have a harder time navigating through a society that gives them male privilege than you do as a woman who literally just got rights? You just got the right to exit a relationship. You just got the right to own your own home. You just got the right to get a bank account. They did not, but they're able to tell you that they're more oppressed than you. It just ain't making no sense. Black women's downfall is going to be listening to these struggle bandits. It just is. Your downfall is listening to and marrying struggle bandits. But I digress. Ralph don't want to give Drew no money. No surprise there. If you surprised that Ralph doesn't want to pay Drew alimony, then put a one in the chat box, although he's literally listing the reason she needs alimony from him, talking about she hasn't made any financial contribution, probably because she ain't had no money. Drew Sidora is not in high demand. As a celebrity, she's not in high demand. So you send up here basically saying she was broke. She made no financial contributions to the home, which I believe she shouldn't have to. But then go pay her the alimony and get your ass on. And he's asking for joint custody of some kids that he don't even want custody of so that he doesn't have to pay her alimony and child support. If the mentality of a struggle bandit is this way, marriage is not going to fix that. You are just going to legally bind yourself to a struggle bandit. I ain't got time. Then come the card. Ralph says he wants his Porsche Taycan and his 2018 Cadillac while calling on Drew to be responsible for her own Cadillac. And if he's doing this with the money, the cars, you can best believe he wants the same with the house. He doesn't want her to walk away with anything. This is why they say they want a traditional woman. Because traditionally, women were dependent on the men for everything. And once she left that relationship, she had nothing. Black women are still living that reality, acting like they're not. Like, why are you acting like you're walking away from these marriages with something? You're not. Princess Love's marriage is also raggedy. And the reason why her marriage was raggedy, because she married a raggedy-minded man named Ray J, whose only claim to fame since forever was being Brandy's derelict little brother. Listen, I don't know if y'all watched the conversation on Zeus. The only time I ever subscribed to Zeus is because I wanted to watch the conversation between Princess Love and Ray J and the conversation between Masika and Hazel E. Those are the only reasons why I ever subscribed to Zeus. And I'm telling y'all, Princess Love done had me fall nearly out my seat when Ray J told her she looked like she had put on some weight or something. And she said, I just had kids. I just had a baby. What's your excuse? I nearly fell out my seat. I said, that this chick really not tell him? You really sat there and told him that he need to go lose some weight and he ain't got no reason to have a pregnant belly, and you do because you just gave birth? I nearly fell out my seat when she said, I just had a baby. What's your excuse? Y'all need to keep doing this. Y'all need to say that very same thing to these pot belly having, I look like I'm 9 months pregnant, although I don't have a uterus, as men who sitting up here telling you that you need to back away from the table. You need to subscribe to some Weight Watchers, bruh, because you not in shape yourself. And why are y'all acting like y'all not the most obese male demographic out there? See, they can pull up the stats on you, but they can't pull up the stats on a broke, dusty, pot belly, gout having, unhealthy, large field, high cholesterol ass cells. They won't do that though. They won't tell you how unhealthy they are. They won't tell you how overweight and broke they are, but they surely will pull up some data and tell you you got a net worth of $5 though. Yeah, we're a double oppressed demographic, bandit. What is your excuse when you get male privilege just on the basis of you being born, which a lot of Black women should put a stop to, but y'all want to sit up here and play. Ray J hit the wall a long time ago. Ray J did hit the wall, y'all. He just is. I feel like Ray J hit the wall. I don't know about y'all, but Ray J hit the wall. And Princess Love is, for whatever reason, clinging to this marriage to Ray J. I don't know why. Maybe Ray J got some good D. I don't see. Ray J seems like the type that he would be more drama than whatever his D quality is worth. He would just be more. I don't care how good your dick is. If you become more drama than you're worth, if you give me a headache, if you make me feel like I am better being separated from you than around you, I don't care how good your D is. I don't care. I ain't never a day in my life been controlled by nobody's dick, and I will not be controlled by dick. If you are giving me a headache, if you are causing me drama, if you are acting ridiculous, you ain't taking accountability, I couldn't care less how good your D performs. I will take a lesser quality D for some peace. I'm not about to sit here and deal with your bandit ways just because you got good dick. I don't know what's making Princess Love cling to this relationship, because I'm also not about to stay in a raggedy marriage or relationship because of some kids. Those are two things that's not going to make me stay in a relationship with you. Dick and kids. I'm not doing it. Because a lot of women will say they stand in a relationship for the kids. No, you're not. You're staying in a relationship because of your emotional attachment to a bandit. That's really why Princess Love continued to be with him. The kids ain't a reason. Dick ain't a reason. Princess Love should have been cut him loose, and she keeps going through this cycle with this man. I don't know why. But she keeps doing it. Ray J keeps filing for divorce from this woman. And I'm telling y'all, Ray J's energy says, I play childish kid-ass games when I'm a grown-ass man. You only got but one time to go initiate a divorce against me, and we're divorced as a man. It just is what it is. Now, after we're divorced, I might play around with you, but if you go file for divorce from me, we are divorced. It just is what it is. We're not married anymore after the first time you filed for divorce. You only have but one time to make me feel unwanted. And once you make me feel like you do not want me, unless you're going to go into some extravagant ways of making me feel like you do, it's just a done deal. You do not get to go to court multiple times to file for a divorce for me. You don't. Princess Love continues to allow this man to go into court and file for divorce and then retract it, and he just did it again. He just did it again. He went and filed for divorce, playing games, and then went and retracted the divorce. Ray J is making it very clear, both publicly and now legally, he isn't ready to give up on his marriage with Princess Love, asking the court to once again throw out his divorce. I'm not playing these games. Y'all, stop playing these games with these bandits. Stop playing with them. They are playing. Unless you are into kid games, I think Ray J is in his 40s. This shouldn't be happening. Why is a grown-ass man, you either want to divorce the woman or you don't. You're playing. According to the legal docs obtained by TMZ, Ray J filed documents Thursday in Los Angeles asking the court to dismiss his divorce from his estranged wife. I don't get it. I don't get continuously going through this. You're filing for divorce one day and literally the next day you retracting it, like, for real. For real. This is another Black situation of struggle love. I guess if you consider Princess Love Black, which it would make more sense if you did. I think Princess Love's mama is Black and her daddy is Asian. Somebody correct me in the chat box, but I think Princess Love got an Asian daddy and a Black mama. And I think I know this because I think on one of the shows her Asian daddy was there, but y'all confirm it for me. So if y'all want to call Princess Love a Black woman, that's fine. At least she got a Black mama to my knowledge. I think her daddy Asian. But look, these people keep going back and forth with a janky relationship. Ray J living like a single man, although married, and his Black male worshiping mama are two of the biggest issues in their marriage. I don't know, y'all. I'm gonna have to look it up because I thought I seen Princess Love's mama being Black and her daddy being Asian. Her daddy is Black. Okay, it is what it is. Okay, y'all, that's fine. It is what it is. If her mama Asian, then either way. If y'all want to consider her Black, you can consider her Black. I don't. I consider her biracial, but whatever. But whatever, it's typically, the daddy is typically Black. So, I mean, really, how many Black women are actually checking for Asian men? But anyway. This is yet another raggedy union. This union is just as raggedy as the other one. Ray J liked to play. Ray J lives like a single man, even though he's not. Princess Love has whined and cried and complained about Ray J and his behavior and his actions and how he treats her and how he cheats and how he lies over and over and over. And girl, bye, you still allowing him to play divorce in court. I ain't playing. I'm not about to play with you when you sitting up here living like a single man. These males do not want to be married. They do not honor unions. They do not honor family. They don't honor fatherhood. You're not going to tell me that a man is a good man, but he's engaging in behavior that will literally disrupt his children's life, his marriage, and everything else. Divorce does not just affect the two people who are filing, it affects the children too. You're breaking up their routine of seeing their mother and father together. That's what you're doing. So when you disrupt the unity of the relationship, you disrupt the whole entire household, children included. So somebody please tell me how it's possible that Ray J could be a good father, but he's not considering what is best for his children. He's considering what is best for his desire to live as a single man. Thank you, Gloria Mancotti. Let me see if I can read these super chats. Sorry, you guys. Thank you, Elite Bell Zoe 1 for being a member for 5 months. I appreciate that. Listen, Ray J's mom is a black male worshiper. She always been a black male worshiper, and she's an example of the problem between a lot of black mothers and their sons. There is a problem with a lot of black mothers who think that their son is their man and want to meddle in the affairs between him and another woman. Ma'am, this is your son. This is not your man. He is grown. Why are you putting yourself in his business with a woman? Why? Probably because you don't want to see him with another woman other than you. And a lot of black mothers do have a problem, a huge problem with this, especially when they're single. If you got a single black mom, understand that she about to enmesh herself wholly in her son's business because she's turned her son into her man, especially if he provides for her. Let a mom have a son who provides anything to her. If he provides anything to her, she is literally going to become a woman that's going to compete with the woman in his life because she done put this man in her subconscious mind. She put her son as her man, and she feels like another woman is going to take her man away from her. The reason why Sonya Norwood is a special case is because she does this despite being married to Brandy's daddy, Willie Ray Norwood. Despite the fact that his mother, in all of her masculinity, because Sonya Norwood lives in her masculine, seems to be a good businesswoman, but she literally lives in her masculine. I don't know if y'all noticed that. Sonya Norwood stays in her masculine. I don't think she knows how to jump into her feminine at all. I don't think she even knows what her femininity is because a lot of Black women are also very disconnected from their femininity. They are very disconnected from it. And of course, you've been placed in a position where you have to jump in and out of the masculine and feminine. But I think a lot of Black women, once they jump into the masculine, they stay there. And I think Sonya Norwood has decided that she's most comfortable in her masculine. And that's why she stays there. And she coddles her son. She makes excuses for her son. She blames the woman for her son's behavior. She meddles in his business. And it's like, lady, if you will be in his business, then be in his business and make him be accountable. Make him be accountable. Make him be a man. You're not doing that, so you're not helping. You're making him worse. Look, and they gonna say, you'll recall Princess and Ray J celebrated his 42nd birthday back in January. You 46 and you too old to be playing these damn games, period. Once you get out of your 30s and you become a husband, or you're supposed to be a husband, but when it comes to these bandits, can y'all give me an example of one Black man who was married but not living like a single man? Do y'all even got an example? Let me guess. Y'all are going to say your friend, you know, a woman that knew somebody who was married to a bandit that wasn't acting like he was single. Or you would have some Black women come into the chat and say, well, I'm married to a Black man and he's the best man ever. He don't beat, he don't cheat on me. Girl, bye. Because if we can't observe it for ourselves, don't nobody believe you. 9 times out of 10, you bragging on the bandit and he doing everything that you say he ain't doing. I'm not hearing that. I'm not. I'm just not gonna hear that. Y'all don't know what's going on in Obama and Michelle Obama's relationship. Stop. Y'all don't know what's going on in Denzel Washington's relationship. Y'all don't know what's going on between Sierra and Russell Wilson. You only see the image that they show you. And I know y'all ain't talking about LeBron James every other year. Some struggle Beckisha comes out and say she been with him on the low. I know that y'all not talking about that LeBron James. LeBron James, who have literally had multiple women and say they done been with this man. And this man done been with LeBron James just good at hiding it. And not as good as you think he is. And I don't know how y'all got the intel. How did y'all get the people who are mentioning Denzel Washington? When you mention Denzel Washington next to it, tell me how you got the inside scoop on their relationship. If you mentioning any celebrity, if you're mentioning any celebrity, tell me how you found out what's going on in their relationship. Because I need to know. Because if you got the inside scoop to their relationship, then you need to be getting paid for that information. You need to be getting paid for it. How do you know what Denzel Washington is doing in his marriage with his woman? How? Y'all don't know what celebrities got going on. And it almost seems like one day y'all will be like, oh, relationship goals. Oh, they seem so happy. And then the next minute, somebody done toe tag somebody. Denzel Washington not getting divorced doesn't mean he hasn't cheated. And it doesn't mean he hasn't been problematic in his relationship. It doesn't mean that. It just means that whatever's going on, she's deciding to stay. And I'm not even saying that he is doing something. I ain't even saying that he is doing something. I'm saying y'all don't know this man's business. Why would you act like you know this man's business? You don't. Yeah, now y'all just saying anything. Jupiter's son said, thank you for your tireless efforts. You are putting in the work. Thank you so much for the support. I love my HIU said Ray J needs to tell the truth about what happened to Whitney. He ain't gonna ever do that. I don't know why y'all think this man would ever do that. If a black man is breathing, he lying. Just assume that for the majority of it. And it's not because he's black, it's because of his pathology. And it's because of the culture that black men are raised in is not conducive to them ever telling the truth. Because where the truth resides, accountability also resides. And a lot of these bandits would prefer to meet their maker than meet some accountability. And y'all gonna have to understand that. So if a black man is breathing, he's probably lying. He just probably is. He probably lying. 9 times out of 10, if he breathing, he lying, and that's how you know. I'm not about to sit there like y'all are not gonna put the weight. Like it just you need more people. Basically, you need more people. I'm gonna have to see some references. If you cite in a black man, yeah, I need to give me some references to call and check then, because I ain't just taking his word for it. If he breathing, he lying. It just is what it is. These bandits though. They ain't the only ones who got no problems, though, according to Psychology Today and Pew Research. Listen, these bandits can okie doke you. I'm going to share the screen for a minute, but look, yeah, these bandits can okie doke y'all, but they will never okie doke me. The reason they're on here telling you that you need to change when really they the ones who need to change. Hold on. I didn't mean to do this. The reason why they're telling you you need to change is because they don't want to change, period. They don't want to change, and it's easier for them to try to browbeat you into changing, especially when they know that they control marriage that you are desperate for and you do not. And that really just is what it is. So they can sit up online. They can sit here and tell you that you're going to die alone, that you're going to get some cash, that you ain't never go be in a relationship. It is called projection. And projection is when a person takes their state or what they fear and they place it on you. Struggle Band has been projecting onto Black women forever and they ain't stopped doing it. They project their treasonous behavior on you. They project their degeneracy on you. They project everything on you, including their future of being lonely and without anybody to love them. Do y'all think Worm Food went to meet his maker after having a life full of love by women? Or do y'all think he croaked alone, literally, on top of a woman who he likely had to pay to be in his presence? What do y'all think happened? Which one do y'all think happened? Do y'all think he went to meet his maker after living a life wrapped up in love? Or do y'all think this was a failed struggle bandit who lived his life accordingly? It just is what it is. They can okie doke y'all. They will not do it with me, and they ain't okie doking nobody else either. The data says these bandits are looking at a future of loneliness. They better go buy themselves some cats or a dog, since a dog is man's best friend. You better go get you one, because that's going to be the only companion you looking at. Recent Pew research indicates that over 60% of young men are currently single. Okay? Sexual intimacy is at a 30-year low across genders. Men do not know how to be intimate. I've already told you guys, sex is not intimacy. They are not interchangeable. Meaning, just because you get one does not mean you're getting the other. Where one resides does not mean the other is closely thereby. No. Black women need to get it rooted into their mind that these are two separate things, because you're falling okie doke and thinking a group of bandits love you because they will jump in the bed with you. These two things are not connected. And the reason these bandits are failing at relationships is because these things are not connected. While they will have sex with a woman, they do not know how to give her intimacy. They don't know how to give her intimacy. Women crave intimacy. And if you're a group of males or a group of people who have been socialized to think that you don't have to provide this, you are eventually going to be disenfranchised by it. By and large, according to the data, men do not know how to be intimate. They don't know how to provide emotional intimacy. They don't know how to provide intimacy. They struggle with it. This is causing them to be single. Rather than fix their problem, they would like to project on you and become these failed, unqualified dating coaches who ain't doing nothing but causing more men to be incels. It doesn't matter how much you talk about women needing to change. All of the experts say men need to change. Black men more than any other group of men. Because if this is affecting men, it's affecting Black men the most. Please believe it, despite them living in a Black male worshiping culture. A recent Pew Research study suggests the tectonic shift in the dating and sex life of men. The study found that among men under 30 years, over 60% are single, almost double that of women in the same age bracket. Meaning it's not women having a problem finding somebody, it's men. Men are having the problem finding a person. So why are you sitting up then, men, telling women they're going to be single and die alone when all of the research is saying that that's actually your future projection, not hers? Why are you telling her she doesn't have options? She got more options than you do. You're the one turning into incels. She's not. Not only are more young men single, but their opportunities are options, okay? Options and opportunities are the same, synonyms. One synonym for opportunity is options. Do I need to look that up to know? No, I can look at the context clues, because you could take out opportunities and put options. Not only are more young men single, but their opportunities for developing a relational and sexual repertoire have all but vanished, as levels of sexual intimacy across genders appear to have hit a 30-year low. Men are not performing, basically, and you need to change. And if you don't change, you're going to have a growing group that's already growing of incels. Things are not what they once were. Heterosexual men, from elder millennials to boomers, traversed young adulthood at a time when sexual intimacy was a common pathway towards attachment, with women actively seeking a romantic partner. Men could reliably depend on women's disproportionate investment. That means women are tired of providing this and not getting it in return. Men were depending on women's disproportionate investment in emotional and sexual attachment. Meaning if there was an attachment, it is because women established it, not men. Traditional masculine gender scripts with a tendency towards avoidance of attachment because men don't know how to build attachments is what it's saying here. They're avoiding doing something that they don't know how to do. We're suboptimal but functional in this constellation of relationship dynamics. And that's because for much of that time, women didn't have the ability to opt out of relationships. That's why. And that's why they say they want a traditional woman. They want a woman who is going to be forced to stay in an unhappy relationship because she doesn't have opportunities, i.e. options, to go seek something else. As young women continue to pursue intimate relationships less intently post-pandemic, men could have increased their relationship skills to close the effort gap. Meaning, during the pandemic, you should have been leveling yourself up and you chose not to do it. You could have been developing relationship skills, but instead you were sitting up listening to Fake and Funky, and now lung cancer having Andrew Tate, who's sitting up in a Romanian prison because of his degeneracy. But because you didn't want to self-improve, you wanted to listen to a struggle bandit. Now you're having problems. They could have confronted their relative avoidance and challenged the gender norms that made them so anxious about intimacy. Notice how it's not saying what women need to do, it's saying that this is the problem with men. It's saying that men have this issue. Women do not. It's saying that if a man is single, it is because he is the problem and he refuses to work on himself. They appear to have done the opposite, turning even further away from real life relationships and into the virtual world. In a recent interview with The Hill, psychologist and masculinity researcher Fred Rabinowitz of the University of Redlands pointed to pandemic-era adaptations that have lost their utility. He suggests that young men are watching a lot of social media that's unrealistic, meaning these fake dating coaches like Worm Food. They're watching a lot of PORN. And I think they're getting a lot of their needs met without having to go out, or so it seems. Because if they were getting their needs met, they wouldn't even be seeking a human woman. It's really just that, it's just that clear. If you can get your needs met without going outside the house, you're not going to seek a woman to do it. You already got your needs met. Why do you need to go find a woman? This is not the reason why, and I'm going to show you what the reason is in a minute here, because there was another article that was linked here. And when I click the hyperlink that was in there, in the article from Psychology Today that we just watched, this article came up from the New York Post. And this is the real reason they cannot level up to what women want. Young men reveal why so many of them are single. Dates feel more like job interviews, meaning women have more standards. They've been telling women to vet them. They've been telling women to choose better. They've been telling women that they need to question these men and see where their mind is at. Men have been telling women to do this, and now they're mad because women are doing it. They're mad now because women are doing it. Not Black women, though, because I don't think this applies to Black women, and they're actually questioning men of no color. Black women's standards are not increasing, but other women's are. And we know Black women's standards aren't increasing because we see the reaction from struggle bandits. If Black women were having firm standards, boundaries, and expectations, we wouldn't see this much arrogance. We would not see this much arrogance. So we know this doesn't apply to Black women, but new data from the Pew Research Center has shown that 63% of men under 30 are single, up from 51% in 2019. This is rapidly increasing. COVID isolation and women's high expectations for something serious are the main reasons they're avoiding going out and coupling up. This is the reason. They cannot meet your expectations. They want to play, you are serious. That's what that means. You're doing what all of these gurus who were qualified in the past, you're doing what they told you to do, and men cannot deal with it. Men are the ones who told you to interview them. Men are the ones who told you to treat it like a job and put them on a 90-day probational period. Men are the ones who told you to think like a man and act like a lady, and now men cannot deal with the results of what they told you to do. Naturally. Because I even told you these bandits don't really want you to choose better, because choosing better would mean less options for them. They don't want you to get higher expectations because then they can't meet them. They don't want you to put them on a 90-day probationary period because that's going to take too long for them to get something. They're mad because they groomed you to do this. Now you're doing it, and it's showing the deficit that they have. Dates feel more like job interviews now, much more like, what can you do for me and where is this going? See, it said Ian Breslow, a 28-year-old man of no color who lives in Astoria. He's a high school teacher. The getting to know you period is gone. No, boo-boo, this is the getting to know you period. What can you do for me is her getting to know you. Where is this going? Is her getting to know you. You just don't understand that this is the getting to know you period. I'm getting to know what you can do for me and how you go upgrade my life. Anything else, and you literally are wasting my time. They want to waste your time, and women are not letting them waste their time anymore. The most important things you can ask a man is, what can you do for me and where is this going? Those two questions won't allow him to waste your time. Him saying, oh, the get to know you period is gone, because during the get to know you period is when men are wasting the most of your time. They're wasting your time. Knowing that they don't want anything serious, knowing they're not going to progress any further, they want to waste your time. And women are saying, no, skip the bullshit. What can you do for me? And where is this going to go in the future? They can't handle it. He said the getting to know you period is gone, and that doesn't feel so great after coming out of isolation. He recalled a recent first date that went quite well until the woman interrogated him on their walk home. Look at what he's saying, though. She literally asked me, would you rather our kids go to public or private school? Followed by several more extreme questions about getting married. If you're in a relationship with a man and you have sex, you can have children. If she wants to get married, she should be asking you right off the bat. Again, they want to waste your time. If they didn't want to waste your time with their confused nonsense, I don't know what I want, this wouldn't be a problem. A man who is on his purpose, a man who knows what he can bring to the table, a man who's ready to settle down, ain't gonna care whether she asking him these questions or not. These are settle down questions. And he thinks these are extreme. And then he goes, I just started responding with what I knew she would hate the most to get her to leave. So you're just too cowardly to say, look, I'm not ready to provide these things, and then get your ass on, you got to start lying. This is what I'm saying. Listen, a struggle bandit comes in all races, colors, creeds, and gender. Don't think that there's only one type of struggle bandit. There's a lot of struggle bandits. Understand that. It says, experts agree that women are certainly wanting more than ever before. And it's not that you're wanting more, it's that you're wanting something. It feels like more because women really had no requirements. We just, again, if you're in a society where you just got rights, then it wasn't about you wanting more. This is about you wanting something and realizing that you have other options if they don't provide it. Pretty Liddy said, thank you, Cynthia. It takes a strong, selfless, and real woman to genuinely encourage other women to want the best for ourselves. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you, too. But this isn't women wanting more. This is women wanting something. They're basically saying, oh, well, now you got expectations. You want me to bring you something other than my physical self. So now you're asking for too much. No, you ain't asking for too much. I actually think they're not asking for enough. Quite frankly, I don't think women are asking for enough. But in a society where these men are used to you not getting nothing and not having any rights, now it seems like you have too many rights. Much like how a racist person sees a Black person having any rights as them having more rights than them. It's the same psychology. Anything could have the same psychology. If you're used to a person being deprived, soon as they get some rights or soon as they're able to get something, you're going to feel like it takes away from you. When in reality, women having options doesn't take anything away from men. They feel like it does because they're used to her not having any rights. They don't want you to accept anything at all. The overall picture is that if a woman is going to go on a date with a man, chances are it's not for a casual fling. I'm telling you, they want to play and waste your time because casual flings are for people who are time wasters who like to play. And because a lot of these women are saying you ain't about to play with me, they have a problem. They want to play. If a bandit is trying to be a bandit, then expectations are going to be the enemy to bandits. It says, especially if the woman is kind of getting close to 30, she's thinking about the biological clock and wants to have a family. Breslow is a time waster game player and doesn't want to get married anytime soon, so he'd rather have casual flings. Expectations are the enemies to playing bandits. If you ain't serious, then you would have a problem with this. And he have a problem with it. Most of them ain't serious. They want to play games. And women are saying you ain't about to play games with me. End of story. End of story. The problem here is that men can't deal with you asking them for anything because they're not used to having to give. It's not that you're asking for more. Is that you're asking for something to begin with. And they want to play and waste your time. And women are saying, hold on, bruh. If you gonna be over here, you need to give me something. You need to upgrade my life. And they don't want to do it. Men don't want to fix themselves. A lot of them don't. All of the data is telling you. This is basically telling you we are alerting men that to the fact that the issue is them. And they don't want to fix themselves. That's all this is saying. They're saying the data keeps coming up and telling men that they need to change. You need to fix this if you want a woman. And men are saying, yeah, no, I don't want to fix nothing. She just needs to take me for who I am. And it's like, okay, well, then go find a woman who will take you for what you are then. If you want a woman that's going to take less, then just go find a woman that's going to take less and don't complain about the type of woman that is. Because if she's the woman that's settling for less, it's because she has a certain pathology that's going to lead to certain behaviors and certain outcomes. It just is what it is. Can y'all block the welfare bandit from my chat box? If you don't go apply for TANF like I told you to do in Tanya's comment section, you can't afford to be over here. If you can't afford $100 to get your broke ass home, you can't afford to be over here. Somebody please block welfare Rello out of my chat box, because like I said, you can't afford to be over here with your Spirit Airlines flying ass. You ain't gonna be up in my chat box looking for some clout. You better get the hell on. This ain't where dusty broke bandits just get to catch clout. You chasing the wrong clout, bruh. Get your ass out of here and go fill out a job application. Go chase some money. Chase a credit card. Talking about a social experiment. Unless you gonna come tell me what part of a social experiment has to do with you being broke, dusty, and not being able to get yourself home as a grown-ass man, and why are you 34 looking 54? You hit the wall a long time ago. Bye, welfare rello. Ain't no cloud over here to chase at all. Your 15 minutes of fame ended 5 minutes ago. What you thought you was gonna do a dusty YouTube tour and jump on everybody's panel? You would please. You got the wrong one. Get your ass on. I told you to go apply for TANF and you should have been done that. Or go apply for some social security welfare rello. Get your ass on. I don't care where you go, but I guarantee you Spirit Airlines will take you. But you ain't coming over here to get no clout. Sitting up there on a dusty war tour trying to convince somebody that you was doing a social experiment when really you just as broke as the rest of the passport bandits. You're broke and you dusty. And we know you broke and dusty over here, so you want to go to a third world country and pretend that you ain't broke and dusty there. And the only thing that you proved is exactly what I said. If you're broke and dusty here, you will be broke and dusty there. That is what you proved. And you thought you was about to go viral, that this was your moment. No, your moment expired. This is the moment now for you to go apply for welfare. At least get TANF so you can have some cash in addition to the food stamps. Then you would have been able to pay the change fee. I know you're not gonna come over here trolling my chat box. Ain't nobody got time for that. Anyway, Andrew Tate, his manager confirms he has lung cancer. I don't know how many of y'all care. I told y'all the reckoning for these bandits was here. There's been a lot of these manosphere bandits who have been sent to meet their maker, whoever that is. I don't know who. I really don't know who their maker is, but Wormful went to go meet his maker. The struggle bandit who used to wear sunglasses, he been sent to meet his maker. They said a man named Sinful the P was sent to meet his maker. I suspect that Andrew Tate might be getting ready to go meet his. Or he's using this as an excuse to get up out of that Romanian prison that he in. Because he didn't use foresight. He did not. Okay? It says Andrew Tate is apparently suffering from lung cancer, which his manager, just go get some chemo, Andrew. That's all you need to do. We don't need an update. We don't need an, why are people so comfortable giving out their HIPAA information? What does this do for us? So it says, which his manager confirmed on social media, sending several people into a frenzy. 36-year-old Andrew Tate, that's a hard 36. I'm 38, and I promise you, I look much, much younger than Andrew Tate. Okay? Again, another man in his 30s who looked like he's entering into his 50s, but whatever. He's in prison in Romania and has been denied bail for the third time, which has extended his prison till the end of March. I think this is this man trying to do everything he can to get out of this Romanian prison. I think this is another sad sob story from a struggle bandit who can't deal with male accountability, although he was sitting up talking about how he wanted to subjugate women. This is poetic justice here. And I told y'all there's a pathology to this. It is most prevalent in your community. Now, I get that he only has partial struggle bandit DNA, but that DNA is ruling the mind of Andrew Tate. Because he acting like he might be 25% of a bandit, he's acting like he's 100% of one. The mindset is a whole struggle bandit, even though he only got 25% of the DNA. This is why you need to thin the herd. Look how strong that pathology is. And listen, I'm not saying that men of no color don't possess this pathology. I'm saying they're smart enough to not turn it into a movement. They're smart enough to not talk about how they want to subjugate and dominate and oppress women. Andrew Tate wasn't. He shares that in common with the struggle bandits from whence he came. He shares that. A lack of use of foresight. How long, Andrew Tate, did you really think you was going to sit up here publicly talking about your felonious intent, and then it wasn't going to land you into a prison? And his followers are probably too dumb to take heed to. Andrew Tate is trying to get a lot of people riled up because maybe then they can get him bail where he can't get it himself. Or maybe a medical professional can get him bail where he can't get it himself. Meanwhile, Andrew Tate has sought medical attention and has now demanded a medical trip to Dubai. Didn't I tell y'all this bandit was trying to do everything he could to get out of this Romanian prison? The 3 requests for bail didn't work because he can't deal with other men. Typically, when you have a bandit up here talking about doing all this stuff and oppressing women, they can't deal with other men. They can't. So Andrew Tate has sought medical attention and has demanded a medical trip to Dubai for his lung treatment, whatever it takes to get out of this Romanian prison, is what he's saying. The court has denied his trip and have assured that Andrew Tate can be cured in Romania. That said, Tate's lung cancer reports can urge the legal administrators to free him after March. He is doing, I don't even know if this man really has this. I don't even know if he really has it. As Andrew Tate's manager wrote, okay, a lot of people are asking me if Tate's lung cancer story is true. Yes, it's true. I was the one driving with him to and from the hospital in Dubai. I don't have any more specifics to share. Yeah, because it probably ain't true. I'm calling bullshit on this one. I'm calling your attention seeking. You can't deal with male accountability. Some men done set up here in another country and said, we gonna hold your dumb ass accountable because you weren't smart enough to keep your business to yourself and move in silence. You wanted to promote this all over the internet, so now you're getting made an example of. It's that simple. He's getting made an example of. You don't get to parade around with the face of a man of no color and try to denigrate their image. Y'all can think this man is black as much as you want to. Black is about you visibly appearing black. If this man navigates through, Vice literally described this man as an Anglo man, i.e. white, and you still got black men running around like, he's daddy black, he's daddy black. Why is he being described as an Anglo then? Why? I never heard any black man being described as Anglo. So if they're describing him as Anglo, it is because visibly he is white. This is not what men of no color want their reputation to be. It just is what it is. When are y'all going to learn that? When are y'all going to learn that there might be men of no color in high rates who are dusty degenerates, but they surely do not want that to be their public image. They don't want that to be their public image. Therefore, anybody who even appears to be a man of no color, who is sitting there promoting what Andrew Tate was promoting, you got to be dealt with. You got to be made an example of, because this ain't gonna be our image. Of course, black men watch him. First of all, black men worship men of no color. That's Zaddy. I don't know if you knew that saying, but black men watch him, okay? Black men will listen to a man of no color before they listen. If Andrew Tate was popular at the same time as Kevin Samuels would have been popular. It just is what it is. He wouldn't have been popular. Okay? Black men are more inclined to listen to a man of no color who can appear to relate to him. Why do you think Angry Man took his dusty graying beard over there to Destiny? Because he wanted a man of no color to relate to his struggle complaints about women leading the community while he's still in it. Like, y'all gonna have to stop. Y'all gonna have to stop falling for this okie doke that black men don't like men of no color. Yes, they do. That's why they're doing the Dusty World Tour and trying to sit in front of men of no color and beg them to believe that Black women are the reason their community looks the way that it do. And all they getting told is, no, bandit, the problem is you. Going back to your dusty sector of YouTube. And stop clout chasing. They love men of no color. And what they love more, there's nothing more that they love than a white looking man claiming to be Black. That's what they love that more than they love a regular man of no color. They love a white man claiming to be Black. That's what they love. So of course they're going to gravitate to Andrew Tate because he looks like a white man. He is, genetically and otherwise. That's why he's being described as Anglo, but they've heard him attach himself to a Black man. That's why. And that struggle bandit pathology is like theirs. So of course they love that. I don't know why you put the comment in there as if it's hard to get a Black man to gravitate towards a man of no color. No, it ain't, please. Please. They love them. They love them. They've been loved them. They want to be like them. And that's why they brag about being it. I'm not even going to go into this pathology. Watch my older videos. I already explained how much Black in various different ways. I described the psychology of Black men wanting to be men of no color, up, down, sideways, and around in some circles. Bottom line is they love these men. They love them. What they don't like is that these men will not embrace them as equal to them. Men of no color keep Black men at a distance. That's what they don't like. And they keep trying to come over there and say, I'm like you, daddy. I'm like you. And men of no color is like, no, you're going to be over there in the dust by yourself. You ain't like us. You're not. And that's what this Andrew Tate stuff is about. Them saying, we are not like these bandits. We're not like them. Because we're smart enough to keep this self quiet. Do you think men of no color haven't been traveling the globe, getting women pregnant, even maybe leaving them single mothers? Yeah, they've been doing that. How do you think all these sub-races have come about? They've been doing it. Actually, some would say they're the best to do it. Okay? Bandits want to be like them. That's why they keep saying, well, why me you don't do this? Why me you doing it? Why can you do it? Why you doing this? Yeah, and they smart enough to make it not be a legacy of dust. Like, really? Y'all just aren't smart enough to move in silence. Just like Sam Smith said, you don't know how to keep your business clean. They don't. These bandits don't know how to keep their business clean. And that's how Andrew Tate wound up over there in a Romanian prison, because they don't know how to keep their business clean. Sitting up bragging all over the place, making silly videos, nodding at a passport that everybody has. You ain't doing nothing. You look silly by sitting up in a video. Listen. Black men out here making videos, waving their passport like it's a badge of honor, and Black women doing the same thing with a marriage license to a struggle bandit. Same thing. So now Andrew Tater is sitting up in a prison doing everything he can to attention whore and try to get out of it. Why don't you just man up and be the UFC fighter alpha male that you said you was? Why are you sitting there mad when you just in a prison with like-minded men? If you feel like you could dominate them, then dominate them. Based on the way Andrew Tate talked, you would think a Romanian prison would be his stomping ground. You would think this would be a cakewalk. Then you had dudes up in there proving themselves by fighting each other. Take that to the Romanian prison then, Andrew. Stop trying to make up all of these excuses. Bottom line is you loud talk toughen, and now we seeing how you made a fruit. You acting like you wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight now that you in that Romanian prison, but you wasn't talking like that though. He wasn't talking like that. You doing everything you can to get out when you could just be in there showing them who the real alpha man is. Look, all they do is run their mouth. It just is what it is. They run their mouth. They run their mouth. You ran your mouth like a bitch. Now you ended up in the jail and you acting like a bitch. Just do your time and go on about your day. Take accountability. You put yourself here and now you want to do everything you can to run away from a situation that you put yourself in. You made the bed. Now you need to lay in it. And ask some of them bandits who were supporting you to put some money on your books. That's what you should be doing. Ain't nobody about to fly you out to Dubai, please. This dude act like he's not transparent. Oh, I got cancer after y'all done. Listen, if Andrew Tate had lung cancer and this man was driving him to and from appointments, you would have heard about that as soon as he went, before he even got booked, you would have heard about this. But now, after your 3 bail requests have been denied, now all of a sudden you got this. And watch him be terminal. Watch the next thing he says he's terminal. Watch. Just watch. He's going to come out because he's a Karen and he's going to say he's terminal. And he really needs to get out and he only got like 2 days to live. Watch. I'm telling y'all. It's coming. Mark my words, this man, the next thing he probably is going to say is that he's terminal and he just really can't be. But the thing of it is that might work in the U.S., but you ain't in the U.S., you in Romania. That's your problem. Your problem is you want Romania to operate like the U.S. do, and you ain't in U.S. soil, boo-boo. You went there because their laws were different, so deal with the fact that the laws are different. Though you was fine with the lax laws and the differences in laws when you wanted to sit up here and oppress women, but now you got a problem with the fact that these laws are different because it's not in your favor. Romania is not the U.S. They don't care about you sitting up here saying that you terminal. He ain't said it yet, but he's coming. I'm telling y'all. He's about to say, he's gonna say he's terminal. Like, for real. You wanted them lax laws, now deal with them. All I want is to see Andrew Tate turn into the alpha male that he preached he was. That's all. That's all I want to do. That's all I want. I want these dudes to get into a situation where their alpha male traits should protect them and help them to thrive, and they show that, but they're not really doing it. All this dude is doing is whining, bitching, crying, and making every excuse to get out of prison. That's all he's doing. And granted, no, prison isn't meant to be a good space unless you're in federal prison. But again, he's in the wrong country for that. You would have been better off staying your ass here with your degeneracy, Andrew. But you wanted to get arrested out of the country. So you wanted to get locked up abroad, and now you're crying because you locked up abroad. You don't get to choose the country that you get locked up in. Ain't nobody taking you to Dubai. No one cares about what your manager says. Who cares? No one cares. You could probably get $1 million doctors to sign up on it, and you still ain't getting out that jail. You're not, or prison, or whatever. He still ain't getting out the prison, and he's trying to do everything he can, and it just ain't gonna work. It just ain't gonna work. But I promise y'all, he gonna be saying he terminal next. Watch him say his leg is falling off. He only got 3 days to live. He gonna come up with something. Y'all gonna keep hearing about Andrew Tate and all of these afflictions until they get his man bail. He go whine, cry, and try to Karen his way into a bail agreement that they're not going to give you. Like, stop. This is pathetic at this point. It's like you're only an alpha male when you out running the streets trying to take advantage of women, talking about how you will take their money. Okay, have that same energy up in that Romanian prison. Debo everybody up in there with your UFC fighting ass. Ain't no way you should be sitting here whining and crying. If you don't get in there and dominate every single man up in there, bye. Like, for real. I'm not dealing with Andrew Tate, y'all. Because really, his energy says weak sauce. There is nothing about Andrew Tate's energy that says he is strong. Actually, his energy is consistent with the whining, crying bitch that he's acting like now that he's in a prison full of men. Now, all of that weakness that a lot of people couldn't see, and I don't know how, well, maybe reading energy is a gift, but whatever, okay, fine. Everybody can't read energy. Based off Andrew Tate's energy, I'm not surprised that he's in here doing anything he can to get out of this prison. And now y'all about to see him coming out with more afflictions. Watch him have the swine flu mixed with COVID, mixed with Omicron. He's going to come up with something he got now, this terminal, whatever it is, because he's already teetering on terminal. He's hinting at, I'm about to expire in 2 days, so y'all got to let me out. That's what he's doing. He's hinting at it already by saying he got lung cancer that you just now heard of for the first time ever. Ain't nobody ever heard about this, Andrew Tater. But they probably in there treating you like you a tater tot, and that's the problem. The problem is he's probably getting the tater tot syndrome or the tater tot treatment, not the alpha male treatment. Yeah, you was able to sell it on the outside, but they ain't buying it on the inside, bruh. They treating you like the tater tot you are. Anyway, y'all, I'm getting off of here. I really am, because I got to go through some of these boxes. I got to get this stuff. Like, really, you gonna sit up here and just whine and cry the entire time? Are you going to squirt some, Andrew? Are we going to see now pictures of you crying, saying that you're terminal and you got to get out, your mom's dying, you got to do something to save somebody's life? What's going to be your next story, Andrew? Because you're just crying. We ain't seen one alpha male trait yet. All we have seen are these whining, crying, Karen, I'll do anything. Andrew, just ask who do you got to suck off to get out? Just ask it. Because you're tethering on that anyway. Andrew Tate is 2 seconds away from saying, who do I got to suck off to get out of this prison? He's this close to it. Like I'm telling y'all, he's so close. He's so close. If him saying he's terminal doesn't work, he's just going to come out and ask, who do he got to suck off to get out of prison? At the end of the day. At the end of the day, that's what's going to eventually happen, probably. Anyway, y'all, I got stuff to do, and I got to call my mom. So, yeah, because my mom was supposed to be coming over, and then she said she was going to the store, and that was just like over an hour ago. So, anyway, I had to call my mom and see what's going on with her, and I got some stuff. I had to get my house in order, y'all. Hashtag Shirley Caesar. But I gotta get my house in order. So I will see y'all in the next video. If you weren't able to watch, then just hit the playback. You can just be a part of playback gang. That's all you can just do that. Okay. All right, y'all, I'm getting off because I knocked my water over and I got some of it on my computer, not on the keyboard or anywhere important. But anyway, that let me know it's time to get off. Thank y'all for watching. Thanks for super chatting. Thanks for the support. Shout out to Themis for watching. I'll see y'all later. Bye.